It's Harvey's Hot Takes, the post-18-inning World Series game edition. Early in the morning on Tuesday morning with our friend Bryan Hayes from Overdrive on TSN Radio. 18 innings, and then the dual citizen of Canada and the United States, Freddie Freeman, walks it off, which makes it even worse. How crushing is this for the Jays, Hazy?
It's as crushing as you could ever imagine. It really is. It's heartbreaking for the team that was going to lose in the end, and now we know the answer. It's the Blue Jays. Both teams put their hearts on the line. Both teams played really well. There was a lot of really quality baseball played tonight. Everything you could ever ask for played out in this game. We saw everything. We saw Hall of Famers pitch that maybe we never thought would pitch again in the World Series. Scherzer and Kershaw. We saw superstars make big play after big play after big play. We saw big plays on the bases. We saw big throws. We saw everything you could possibly ask. And it goes 18 innings. And of course, Freddie Freeman is the hero in the end. But it's crushing for the Blue Jays for a few different reasons. First and foremost, they're going to look back on this and say, man, we might have had this game. We probably did have this game. They had multiple leads during the first 9 innings, the first complete 9 innings of the game, including their decision to pitch to Shohei Ohtani in the bottom of the 7th inning. They pitched to him 4 too many times, right? 4 times they pitched to him when they shouldn't have. Again, hindsight being 2020. Eventually, Schneider and company got the memo and said, we can't pitch to this guy anymore. Just put him on first base. But they had a lead in the 7th. They pitched to Ohtani. He makes them pay. That's going to change everything moving forward in terms of how they approach him into the future of this series. Also, the decision to take guys out. If you're John Schneider, I don't think you're sleeping tonight, period, because of the way that played out. But after Springer leaves the game, which is a huge part of the storyline here, even though the Dodgers won, Game 4 is rapidly approaching. I'm not sure we're going to see Springer play in Game 4. I don't know if we're going to see him play again in this series, period, at this point, Jay. So the fact that he was out of the game, John Schneider still stuck to his guns, what he's done all year. He took Addison Barger out of the game. He should not have done that. He took Bo Bichette out of the game. He should not have done that. He took Alejandro Kirk out of the game. He should not have done that. And what happened was they get to extra innings, and it was always Heineman coming up, or Straw coming up, or Schneider coming up. The big bats were taken out of the lineup for the Blue Jays, and the big bats stayed in the lineup for the Dodgers. Hence, Freddie Freeman walks it off. Absolutely heartbreaking, crushing loss for the Blue Jays, and they don't have much time to recover because Game 4 is rapidly approaching.
And you alluded to Springer maybe being the biggest story of this 18-inning loss. It looks like an oblique injury. Bo Bichette, we know he's not exactly 100%. The Jays used every possible reliever that they could use in this 18 innings. They had to. Do you see them recovering? Do you see the Jays recovering and getting back into the series at all, Bryan Hayes?
Well, Shane Bieber's got to have a night. That's the first guy you're going to look at. And you know the Dodgers are going to look at Ohtani, and Ohtani's going to get the ball, but I'm not sure what Ohtani's going to bring to the table. Now, he is a freak of nature, clearly. And knowing him, he'll hit 2 home runs and strike out 10 batters in Game 4, and it'll be as if he wasn't up until the middle of the night in Game 3. But Bieber's got to have himself a night. He's got to go deep in this game. He's got to set the tone for the team because I don't know how much life is going to be left in the bats on either side. It very well could be a low-scoring game in Game 4. So Shane Bieber's got to be great. And with Springer likely not available, then someone else has got to step up. And I'm going to look at Bo Bichette. Now Bichette likely can DH, right? You can set up your defense the way you want to set it up. And they've got to get big at bats. And again, I'd look at Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Vladdy has not hit a home run yet in the World Series. Right, he has not been as potent as he was against Seattle, certainly not as potent as he was against New York. So if Springer's not available, you're going to need Vladdy to be great. Vladdy's got to return to hitting for power. He's got to start slugging. Bichette's got to perform here. Pressure is going to go on other guys, and ultimately John Schneider, the manager, he's got to manage for his life now because the next 2 games, who knows what it's going to look like. But the Dodgers are rolling into Game 4 with some breathing room now. They own the series. They're up 2-1. They have home field. They have the championship pedigree. They're relatively healthy. So the pressure's on the Blue Jays here. They don't have time to lick their wounds here. Bieber's got to have a night. Vladdy and Bo have to step up. They've got to find a way to win Game 4.
And you earlier talked about the fact that this 18-inning game will change the way the Jays will have to approach Shohei Ohtani for the remainder of the series. In your opinion, Bryan, do you just intentionally walk Ohtani any chance you get from here on out?
I think you pretty much have to, Jay. I mean, there might be a rare exception, and it's possible he comes up, in the first inning, game 4, and you tell Bieber to challenge him, or at least, try to peck away at the zone, but don't give him anything to hit. But that was the plan tonight in the 7th inning, clearly. Sir Anthony Dominguez was not told to throw a heater right down the middle of the plate, but he made a mistake, and Ohtani made him pay for it. So I'm not sure if you could trust Bieber or anyone else to avoid any part of the strike zone, because if a ball lands in the strike zone, Ohtani is going to hit that thing to Anaheim. I mean, that's what he's doing right now. That's how dialed in he is. He had a game tonight that we've never seen before. We say that every time this guy plays. So, yeah, I do think you have to risk Mookie Betts getting you. You have to risk Freddie Freeman getting you, which he did obviously in Game 3. Max Muncy, Will Smith, they are so potent. They're so deep. Teoscar Hernandez, you can go on and on and on. But if I'm John Schneider, if I'm the coaching staff of the Blue Jays, Pete Walker, et cetera, I think I'm walking into Game 4 and saying, I cannot let Ohtani do this to me again. I think you're going to just intentionally walk him into the ground and force everyone else on that Dodgers team to beat you.
Teams up 2-1 in the World Series win the World Series 71% of the time. So even the percentages are against the Blue Jays. But there's a game to be played on Tuesday night, and there's a radio show to be hosted Tuesday afternoon. Go get some sleep, Bryan Hayes. You deserve it, buddy.